The next semifinal, we got the Hardos against the flipping Mafia. Battlefield of Eternity is our first map. This is qualifier number 8, everybody. And the Hardos might end up in a grand final match against Team Wah again. Obviously, they have to win first. This is a best of 3 series, and the flipping Mafia is not bad. So Hardos actually got a little bit lucky earlier. They had a game that they played that they against Team Rage Quit. They could definitely have lost. They played well in the late game, but boy, that last fight really saved their tournament life. So now we have them going up against the flipping Mafia, who has been doing fairly well in the tournaments that they played. Nothing too insane. It's not like they made it into the grand final, but they have consistently farmed points in the semifinals and the third place decider, which is really nice for them. So right now they have a position in the top 8, which qualifies you for the playoffs, where 4,000 euros of prize money are going to be played out. And we'll see if they can go a little bit farther. If today they're going to end up in that third place deciders match again, or if they can move on to the grand final here. Battlefield of Eternity as our first pick, and it's kind of interesting because it was picked by the Hardos, and I honestly expected them to go for Tomb of the Spider Queen right off the bat again, which they didn't do. The traditional map bans kicked in for the Hardos again, as they banned out Braxis and Garden. Two of the maps that pretty much nobody really wants to play. Garden is sometimes a little bit of an oddity pick that we get occasionally, but to be absolutely blunt with you, I can't remember it being played during the qualification tournaments at all. Now, with that being said, keep in mind that we also only have best of 1s and best of 3s in these qualification tournaments. Once that we're heading into the playoff event, which is going to happen in roughly 10 days, then we are playing best of 5s and a best of 7 in the grand final. So then it is very likely that we're going to see something like Garden eventually. Now, NanoP with an early pick into Vala. It's pretty much the name of the game lately. You're looking at Zagara as a potential early game pick. You're looking at Vala. If both of them are being banned out, then things shift. But if one of them is available, then normally that's a very early pick into that. Nick only being apparently this time, with Yasu looking in Stukov. And if you followed the tournament throughout the day, then you know that Yasu has not played with the team up to now. He was at work. This is a Wednesday tournament. The qualifiers on Wednesdays and on Sundays. And today he couldn't make it back home in time. So the first two best of 1s that the blue team played, they played with a sub player. They played with Marlow, and so they shifted roles slightly and had Yasu in a support role. But now that Yasu is back here for the semi-final, they can play with their full roster, their full lineup, and that's exactly what they're doing here. Malfurion gets picked, and we got Fallen on Blaze. Talking about the subs, I highlighted it in one of their previous games, but the flipping Mafia is playing now the second tournament with Hydra. The reason being that Shamzik isn't here. To my knowledge, he's on vacation, and that's why they play with a sub player. But he is back for the next tournament, as far as I know. And yeah, Hydra is therefore only a temporary one. Yeah, again, it's summer. It's the middle of August right now. Obviously, a lot of the players are on vacation, either for a longer duration or just for a couple of days. And teams obviously fighting for this. Once that we're heading into a fall or a winter season, we can expect a lot more players also fully committing to all of this here. But the amount of players that we're already seeing is kind of crazy, especially with Team Wow. I mean, the lineup that they have is incredible. Just Zelia currently beasting it in a main tank role because Masquerade isn't there is just insane. Now, either way, as we're heading into these bans now, we get Muradin and Garrosh both banned, so both teams are focusing on the front line now, and they don't want to go up against a lot of these stuns. Dibbles is making his play in, and we also get Brightwing. Okay, so Brightwing is in the house. We got Diablo together with that, so a double support already set up for the blue team. Is that going to be a Sul'jin pick again? Single frontline doubles? Yeah, unlikely, honestly. It seems more that we're going to have a double support with a single DPS Li Ming. Maybe a side laner that is a bit more aggressive, but yeah. ETC and Junkrat. Late pick into Junkrat, but there it is. Blaze and ETC together. A lot of CC that they have. Power Slide, Jet Propulsion, Malfurion Roots. And off we go. Last pick. They obviously have the swap round coming up. What are we getting, though, from the Hardos here? Battlefield of Eternity is the first map that kicks us off in the semifinal of the 8th qualifier. 8 out of 10. And we got Hanzo. Yeah, they play single frontline. Single front line Bad Benny with Hanzo plus Li Ming. Alright. That's a bit different. But well, let's go. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Game number 1. Let's go! The Hardos against the flipping Mafia! On the left side, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Hardos in blue with Hazu on Hanzo. Copenhagen on Stukov. We got Nick on Li Ming. Yasu's playing Brightwing. And Bad Benny is playing Diablo. On the right side of the map, in the meantime, the flipping Mafia with Farland on Blaze, Bishops on Junkrat. We got Hydra on Malfurion, X-Ray on ETC, and Nenopi on Vala. Okay, the stage is set for our solo frontline. Yeah, you don't see that all that often. Arrow build for Vala in the meantime, by the way. So, yeah, good for them. Full on arrow to burn down the Immortal. And by the way, talking about the top lane, oh, only a dead fruit fly is a good fruit fly. Welcome to the Thunderdome, Yasu. Nah, this is the first game that he plays for the team today. Maybe had some time to warm up, I don't know. But the thing that happens immediately as it all starts is him getting crushed. So, yeah. That was unfortunate. Now, well, that leads to a destruction of the top tower, but the blue team has tried to do the same thing at the bottom of the map now. Farlander is attempting to make his way out, in vain, I might add. So not only is there counter damage on structures by the blue team, but they also get a kill in. Yeah, both of the teams very aggressive here, trying to speed the game up a bit by taking the walls of those forts down immediately as the game begins. And that is some very aggressive setup that we're seeing. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, down at the bottom of the map, they are a little bit faster. They made it now towards the fountain. They're going to try and take that one out. But with ETC sliding in, they might just be able to save this one. It's so low. Ah, there it is, the hit. Hazu gets stunned. Honestly, even if he dies, that's worth it. It seems... Nah. Bishops! You boss! Bishops with a boss mode play right here. Tries to make his way out of the fight and then right away gets boosted back in. All the way up at the top, the fight continues. Vala down, Brightwing down. Everybody is just murdering it here. I like it. Hyper aggression. But look at that move again. Look at this. Hazu gets stunned initially, is trying to make his way out of it, and then bam, get over here. Nicely done. Really nicely done by the Hanzo player. So, yeah, Bishops... sorry, the Junkrat player, of course. Bishops with a real nice move. But I gotta say that both of the teams are insanely aggressive. We are looking at 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the board, and we've already seen 5 kills. Normally, that doesn't happen on Battlefield of Eternity. Things usually slow down after the initial attempt to go for a kill and maybe set a gank up if you have Sylvanas and you're trying, of course, to move in there too. But yeah, both of the teams super, super aggressive right from the beginning. And I like it. It's actually a lot of fun. And as it happens, it's the Hardos that are a bit ahead. So, yeah, by now we got 3 kills to 2. Another play down for the bottom of the map now as Bad Benny. Nah, he's making it out. He finds himself in that weird position that he's just all alone on the front line now. That's also one of the reasons why he went for the shield. And, yep, here comes the move straight in for the first Immortal. So who's going to take the first objective? We already have the red team trying to defend at the bottom of the map, and the top team, the red team is still pushing at the top side. So with a double camp, Bishops is doing decent damage. I mean, he's taking down the top fountain. Well, at least he should. Yeah, 1 hit, 2 hit. Come on. 1 more, 2 more. He needs to get, I mean, at least the fountain. No way. I can't believe that Bishop lets that slide. That he didn't commit a single grenade to this. But okay, it still falls. Down at the bottom of the map, though, this is where everybody is just going back and forth with another good slide against Bad Benny. The jet propulsion is a follow-up. There's the root on the ground. They're trying to turn it on Farlander, but it's Benny that dies. And Hydra is making it out of the battle without dying. I mean, he had very few hit points left, but he didn't get dropped. So now it's 4 kills to 2 in favor of the flipping Mafia. The Hardos came into this as the favorite, but now they are falling behind in kills and experience. The good thing is they are very, very much so ahead on the objective. Yeah, they did fantastic. and the first setup. The problem, of course, being that the level 7 talent gives the Mafia another edge that they could use to maybe defend here, even take a target down. Vala is trying to solo the Immortal on the right side, and Nenopil is obviously the one best suited to that play. But down here, it's an easy lock on the first Immortal for the Hardos, and they want more, but they're losing Stukov instead. So they might lose another one. Hazo gets attacked too, but instead it's a kill against Vala. Kill for a kill. Fantastic. Yeah. X-ray zoning for the team. But I like this. This is a bit of a different way of playing Battlefield of Eternity, and it is fun. No Calamity! What the fuck is that? Seeker on level 7? Are you for real? Wow. No Calamity with that. Maybe also because they are playing a solo frontline. It's more or less a no frontline. I mean, every single time that Benny is far out, he immediately seems to be getting punished. Level 10 abilities are going to be really interesting, but yeah, Li Ming apparently a bit careful of engaging in the front line, because so far it's only a single melee that they're playing. I mean, again, technically Stukov is a melee too, but you will very rarely see him really going for the big slap, and instead he normally tries to stay far away here. So, yeah. And for now, we have no fort destroyed. All of them are low. All of the walls have been taken down, but no fort has been completely wrecked. So what are we seeing here? I mean, either way, we still have Nick with his level 7, and he's trying to use it to just like poke against the structures a bit too. And as long as Fallender's the only one up at the top, he can't do anything about it, especially once the minion wave is pushing in. But the red team is attempting to do the same thing at the bottom of the map here, so they're currently trying to do that too, and ETC got punished for it. So apparently we're seeing the Mafia getting too aggressive, and that's now 4 kills to 6, and level 10 abilities soon ready for the Mafia, but the blue team is not too far behind. Yeah, not too far behind here. And all the way up at the top, they're trying to go for a similar play right now as they're starting to attack that. Level 10 is in, and that gives us, I would assume, the usual suspects on the talents. Rocket Ride. I like Rocket Ride. It's just fun. If you get a... oh my god, if they get a Mosh Pit and a Rocket Ride, can you imagine that just for a second? That would be awesome. Yeah, Rocket Ride, after it has been buffed by Blizzard, I mean, how many patches ago was that? 2, 3? It's honestly quite a lot of fun. You see it a bit more often. It's not like the dominant talent necessarily, but it is getting picked often enough to be a real alternative, and it can be really strong. The Lightning Breath is in, so we're not going to see any arrows from Hazo or Hanzo into an Apocalypse. That's not happening here. But with the second objective being up and both of the teams on level 10 abilities, that's where they're going to try and make their plays now. So we're already going to see them attempt to poke it down slowly. And just look at how they can easily drop it to nearly half HP with Li Ming just doing what she does on this map and getting one slide in after another. And again, talking about slide, there is a power slide on the left side, and that is an easy hit. Jet propulsion. And the counter kill against Malfurion, and another one is happening too. The Rocket Ride didn't get them anything, but it seems like we might even see another kill as everybody is getting attacked here, especially Bad Benny and Yasuo on ETC and, on Diablo and Brightwing. Got attacked as ETC was sliding in for a mosh pit that he couldn't really deliver. Top fort, by the way, is going to get destroyed. At the bottom of the map, a similar situation has unfolded, but Bishops is there in time to save it, so good for him. Then again, halftime show has once again been claimed by the Hardos. It's a weird first map. I mean, it's all over the place, and I really like it because it just breaks the mold of what we're normally seeing. But boy, is it all over the place. There's another wall stun attempt. Bad Benny, keep in mind, he has fully stacked now. Gets stunned. Oh, the arrow! Nice! Good job by Hanzo. Problem is there's no follow-up on it. If they could have followed up with anything here, that could have been a kill against at least Hydra's Malfurion. But it is again another Immortal for the Hardos. They're cutting it a bit closer than last time, but they are locking in the kill. Stukov is dead though, so they can only rely on Brightwing for the heals now. But they're trying to get X-Ray! And they just can't. They just can't. They got close, but they're not able to drop it. Now, it's a fort destroyed on each team's side. Hardos and the Flipping Mafia both lost their fort at the top. And down at the bottom of the map, That's where everybody is going straight again for Dibbles again. And Benny is dead. No way. No. They thought he was down and they just let him escape. Oh my god. They didn't realize. Oh my god. Everybody's just pretty much looking at each other. It's like, are you gonna kill him? Nah. You're gonna kill him. It's like, nah. And then nobody delivered the final blow and allowed Brightwing to get the long channel and the heal. I mean, good save by Brightwing, but still, that was definitely doable by the Mafia. If they would have focused just a bit better, that would have been a kill for sure. It just seemed that everybody agreed that Diablo was dead and they just let him walk away. Now, we got the early level 13 for the Mafia. They're still slightly ahead in experience, but now they lost the bottom fort. Defense was, of course, there. And the attack at the top side is now also happening. We got 24,000 for Vala on the damage output, 29,000 for Hanzo. And all the way up at the bot side. Yeah, they deny some additional vision by taking the walls down. So there's that. And yeah, 5 kills to 13 now in total, but the virulent reaction is kicking in for the Hardos. And honestly, that is a power spike that might make things a lot easier for them now. With Copenhagen being able to just use virulent reaction in these fights, there's more and more potential. Nick is, by the way, the only one that hasn't died yet. So Nick is at 16,000 damage. He's focusing a lot more on immortal damage now with this combo. And even goes into the glass cannon. Since he didn't go for Calamity, he's not really engaging into any close quarter combats, so he is really just trying to poke the Immortal down. That's also why the adjustment on level 7 was made. He went away from Calamity because he said, okay, I'm going to just focus on the range damage here, and I'm gonna therefore also go into Glass Cannon. It's a bit of a risky play that they're making, but there's nobody that can easily close distances on the side of the flipping Mafia. Now, they're not playing a Kerrigan here, they're not playing a Genji or anybody that can be aggressive around that, so one of the reasons why, at least up to now, he was able to get away with this. And Nick is just poking out the damage whenever he can. And they are getting a lot of it connected. But the same is also true for Vala, who of course after the 22 stacks that she gathered up in the level 7 is now able to murder that Immortal much faster than previously. And the halftime show is more or less even. Yeah, they go for ETC, X-Ray, the arrow, missing completely. Was dodged out, X-Ray was so low. Even the Tranquility had to be committed to in order to keep him alive here. And he is still low, even after the ult. Nick is juking out whatever he can, lands another few shots here and stays away from X-Ray. So Nick is really playing, I mean, he needs to be super careful. With Glass Cannon, he's playing a dangerous game. Now, this is a really good push at the bottom of the map, and the red team is losing a lot here. Yeah, there's the attack in the back, though, and the kill against Brightwing, but ETC is also dead. This seems to be the theme of the game. Every single time that the flipping Mafia is committing to a kill, they are immediately punished with a counter kill from either followed up by Nick or by Hazorbs. 15 to 15 now, and the bottom keep is starting to be in trouble, and that forces Farlander back, and that of course triggers an immediate attack on the top side. Looks like another objective is gonna go over to the Hardos. Benny low. Oh, Benny! He survives. Copenhagen is able to save him. Nick is playing the good old Liming game where he just YOLOs out his abilities, and there's the other team to let them go. I mean, again, you have only one choice. Either let the abilities go through, then you do damage to the Immortal, or you soak them, and then you eventually are so low in HP that you might get killed by the opponent engaging and committing to the fight. Now, we have another Immortal, and this one is looking a bit stronger. There's nearly a 50% shield that we're talking about now. So, good for them. And they can push through their top lane. If you look at Nick's damage, he's only at 23. That's not really a whole lot. Like, again, his entire setup is not meant to do hero damage. Calamity is much better for that. But with what they are playing here, a double support, double damage, single frontline Diablo setup, they are just using Nick for damage against the Immortal, and that's why he can play Glass Cannon and Seeker on level 7. So he has 54,000 siege damage, and that simply comes from his continuous damage against the Immortal. Yeah, the arrow this time, and a nice double connect. Where's the follow-up? Benny gets saved by Brightwing, goes for the lightning breath, and still gets crushed. Nice reaction from the Mafia. They're doing well here, But also Farlander, he wants more. They want more than only Diablo. And Diablo, he had the soul stack, so he's coming back. But Copenhagen has some real problems trying to escape. The entire time, Nick with some covering fire. X-Ray is super low though. X-Ray is incredibly low right now. Nick keeping himself at a distance. And they get the Junkrat kill. Junkrat is down. Nick with even more poke. Trying to go for the ult to push them further in. Which he can't quite make happen. But oh boy, is he getting some hits connected there. And they are trying to get that keep. And they should be able to pull that off. Because it's a 5 versus 4 now. And Nick is doing what he's been doing the entire time. He's just going for the range, one hit after another, doing as much damage as he can, poking them down slowly. And he is starting to crush it here with his team. They also went for the Fireflies, so that helps him a lot with the cooldown reduction. Just fire them away time and time again. The synergy with Seeker is, of course, there. It's so fucking low, it's crazy. They need just anything connecting once they're trying. It's insane. How the hell? How the hell? They just can't drop it. The bottom keep has taken so much damage on the side of the Mafia. The top keep too. It's a crazy first game in this series. Yeah. 47,000 damage on Hanzo now. 47,000. So yeah, he's delivering 2 here. And up at the top, the red team is still defending as best they can. 42,000 for Vala, 69,000 siege for Liming. The only hero in the entire game that hasn't died yet. The only one. More camps are now being taken, including Brightwing. Brightwing is taking the one at the bottom of the map. Another Siege Giant camp is coming up. And a fairly even halftime show. 3,000 hit points difference in favor of the red team. So it's a bit of a lead. But again, depends a lot on what you're committing to now. Brightwing is already escorting this out at the bottom of the map. I mean, there's catapults now, a Khazra camp. And it seems like finally we're going to have the Mafia with an Immortal as well. Yeah, they are committing fully on this one. And they have to. But Brightwing is committing at the bot lane towards the keep. And is trying to escort this in. Arrow connected, already cleansed out with the Nature's Cure. Brightwing had to move back. They keep in trouble. But can they defend everything and then also join up with the Immortal before the Hardos set up their defense down here? And the Immortal is starting to come down, but I think the Hardos, yeah, they will have to contest against the Mafia. Mafia is going to be there in time. Nobody's on 20 yet. We're getting a bit close at level 19 for the time being. And yeah, they're already defending. Fort is obviously gone. The whole mission here is to save the keep. They're polymorph. Oh my god, they are really playing a dangerous game with these setups. It's just so close. By the way, Hanzo, he took it down. Hanzo, he took it. So the keep is gone at the top. They were able to do at least that. Now they have to save their own at the bottom. And with 50% HP left on the Immortal, there's a solid chance that they can save it. But they have to chunk it down quickly. They have to chuck it down real quickly or it's dead even on the map in terms of keeps. And no, they can't. It's going down. It's going down. There's the bunker. We already had the lurking arm in. And Dibbles is trying to toast him a little bit. Yep, the barbecue master is doing what he does best. And it seems that Nick actually screwed himself here. Yeah, he just used his ult. I mean, the thought process was obviously to push Nano P into the combo. But he pushed him just a little bit to the side. And that made him dodge out on the orb. It could have been a kill. 11-7. What a game. Yeah, this is a lot closer than a lot of people expected, I think. Hardos were the favorites heading into it, given the performance in the past few tournaments. But the Mafia has been stepping it up. And significantly at that, I might add. They are 4 kills ahead. Now, in terms of structures, it's fairly even, with the problem being that this one is only on 50% HP. But either way, Farlander, yeah, he has to jet propulsion out here. Quickly. Or it's going to be a little trouble. Alright, so. Let me see. Can they go for another one? Arrow! Oh, flipped into the arrow! Hydra just got murdered! X-Ray! Oh my god, the Hardos! In the last potential team fight, they're coming through in the big battle and they go through the flipping Mafia like hot butter through cheese. 4 heroes down, and now the chance to go straight up for the core endgame with a level 20 advantage. Oh boy! Bad Benny engaged onto Malfurion and literally flipped him into the arrow and just crushed him, absolutely crushed him. With that, it's another lead. The Hardos, they take the first game. They win Battlefield of Eternity. What a team fight. That was absolutely pitch perfect. Incredible engage. The Mafia losing BOE as the Hardos take the victory, even chasing another hero. But this is it. 11 kills to 11. And the blue team is victorious on the first map of the semi-final best of 3. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Okay, game number 2, Cursed Hollow. It was a twist at the end of the game. I mean, it was fairly even throughout the entire first map, Battlefield of Eternity. And I have to say that for a long time I thought, hey, maybe the Mafia can pull it off and can win. They weren't having kills after all, and if you can maintain the kill ratio, then you're gonna get more out of it in the late game because the death timer increase. But the Mafia, they needed, the Hardos, they needed one good engage, and they were able to turn it very, very quickly. It was pretty impressive, and I gotta say that especially the Diablo engage and the flip into the Hans arrow, that was kind of nuts. Now that we're heading into game number 2, we have Cursed Hollow as our map, and every single time you see Yasuo, it's a Lucio ban. Yeah, nobody wants to go up against Yasuo's Lucio. Carrigan is another one that they don't want to go up against on this one. We have Abathar also banned, so the ban pattern changes immediately once that you're going into Cursed Hollow. And after the blue team already used Abathar in, I want to say, it was the quarterfinal on Tomb of the Spider, Battlefield Towers of Doom. They used Abathar there, and now therefore it gets eliminated on Cursed Hollow 2 because this is another good map for Abathar. Might be another good map for the Vikings as well. I mean, Hazu played it occasionally, but not all that much. Maybe the Mafia is worried about it and bans them out on the 3rd position. We'll see. For now, it's a Dehaka early pick to at least have some global that they can use on the macro level. I would expect Vala to be taken. I mean, again, here you don't really have to. You can also play more around the globals with picking a false stat. Maybe a later pick for them. It depends a bit on which kind of style you want to play. But they're going for the Vala pick, and they have Brightwing now. So instantly they have really nice damage output, they have good wave clear, and on top of that they got Brightwing who can mirror Dehaka's movement to an extent at least. Doesn't have quite the same wave clear, so it can't mirror just everything, but you have more of a global that can help you on the side lane. Sylvanas and Stukov, the next 2 picks. And now the moment of truth. Do you ban the Vikings, yes or no? That's pretty much the big question. Is the Viking something that you really feels threatens you in any way and that you're worried about? Or is it something where you just say like, yeah, do it, whatever. If you want to pick them, then just do. But we don't care. So yeah, we'll see. There's the Anuburak ban. Okay, so no deep engages into the backline. Alright, good for them. That's one to watch out for. And it's always weird. If you go up against an opponent where you think they can play multiple heroes that normally nobody else plays, you always have to think, do we ban meta or do we ban their preference or what we are afraid of? And that's why they're hesitating. That's exactly the discussion that's going on now for the Mafia. And they ban Hogger instead, so they're risking it. They're saying, hey, if you guys want to play with the Vikings, then by all means do it. We're going to deal with it when it comes to that. And if you go for a Viking play, you want to have a strong 4-man, of course. So maybe even a Zarya pick. If you're going to full ham on it, pick that Zarya Garrosh rotation and then the Vikings on the last pick. I don't really think it's going to happen, but hey. Diablo and Sonya is what we're getting. Okay. Sonya, of course, also nice in the control and the boss a bit. Keep that Falstad in mind too, because Falstad is still a hero that we could see from, I would say, both. If you have a double global for the Mafia, that's neat. If you go and play Falstad for Hazo, it's also kind of nice. But at the same time, if you want to play the Vikings, it's also going to be a potential late pick because you'll give your opponent less reaction. And they take it themselves. Okay, Imperius and the Vikings by Bishops. Alrighty. That's one way to deal with it. If you're worried about the last pick Vikings, you just pick them for yourselves. I mean, easy peasy. It's like, yeah, what are you going to do about it now? That's a cool move. And all of a sudden, the Hardos are sitting there like, okay. So they go for Sergeant Hammer again. It's hammer time. And that's a big mistake from the Mafia. Especially the Russians should know. You don't give the Germans the Panzer. So, I don't know, guys. Cursed Hollow, map number 2. Let's see what they can do here. The Hardos against the Mafia. We got the Vikings and we got the Sergeant in play. Let's jump straight into the second map for the series. Game number 2 on the left side. Hazu on the hammer. We got Copenhagen with Sonia, Nick on Vala, Bad Benny on Diablo. Yasu is playing Brightwing. And on the right side of the map, the Russian team with Farlander on Dehaka, Bishops on Stukov, Hydra on the Lost Vikings. We got X-Ray on Imperius and Nenopi on Sylvanas. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what they would have preferred to go up against. Is it the Vikings? Is it Hammer? Hazu lately went back on to playing Hammer a little bit, and he for a while dominated so hard with that hero that it was consistently banned out on pretty much every single map, especially on Battlefield of Eternity and Infernal Shrines against him. But right now, yeah, let's see how the Mafia deals with it. I mean, the Russians are sitting here as like, Hammer, he's not a problem. He's not a problem. He's cold. He's cold, he's winter, he's easy. The tank's not gonna get very far. German tanks, no problem in this situation. Oh wait, he's not Alterac Pass? Oh, he's a problem. He's a big problem. No winter map. No snow, now is big issue. Drink more vodka, easy solution, and kill them all. No problem. We'll find solution later. Alright, either way, dumb jokes aside, now that we're heading at the top lane, the Vikings obviously are not in a position that they can deal with that. The Hammer already firing away. Hazorps, a master of the trade, of course, weaving in these auto attacks like a champ. He gets into position, he presses the button, and then he hits the right click. And oh boy, very few people can hit a right click the way that Hazo does it. So yeah, there's that. But either way, now that we're having at the bottom of the map Benny and Nick already playing around this, the name of the game is going to be Catch the Hammer. Because the entire time you have on the one side, you have, well, Vala pushing, on the other side you have the Hammer pushing, and the Vikings are going to have a bit of a rough job dealing with that, especially now that they're getting farmed too, so kind of problematic. But again, either way, it's a bit of a question of how the Mafia is dealing with all of this, and we'll have to see. For now they're going for some camps, but topside they're obviously losing quite a few things already, and the first wall has been destroyed easy peasy. X-Ray is now moving in too. And yeah, we'll see what they can do with that. Hazu gets assisted and is moving out very, very easily. So yeah, you can see the problem when you look at the minimap. The two lanes are pretty far removed from each other, and both are now taking damage. Because down here you have pretty much a duo around Vala. At the top you have a duo around Sergeant Hammer. And at the same time, the red team is starting to chase them. And it's not really working well for the Mafia. Now, is that a massive problem now? Not yet. Losing a couple of structures early on, as long as it's only walls and towers, is not really a big deal. And thanks to the camp that they took in the Sylvanas push, they have now also done a fair amount of damage. And I really, really like this reaction out of the Mafia. Instead of just running around the game the entire time, or the map, they are now moving in to try and do some counter damage. And they're doing a lot. They're even getting a kill here, aren't they? Yeah, indeed they do. That's a dead Vala. So, boys, this is actually a very cool move by the Mafia. They got the fort and they got the Vala kill. Now, up at the top, the Sergeant is still attacking. Hazorps, I mean, he just doesn't give a shit, does he now? He's just sitting here and he's just like right-clicking everything. Yeah. Belok is coming, he's like, I can deal with this, I can deal with this, I can't deal with this! And then he is immediately running away from it. The Vikings are going for the channel down here at the bottom, and they're locking in the first tribute. It has been on the map now, but the top fort has not been destroyed. So structurally, the Mafia is ahead, and they also have a talent advantage here, even an entire level ahead. So they turned things around. That Sylvanas push was fantastic. It was a really nice strategy from them. Try and interrupt the Vala and Hammer push for as long as you can. They took a lot of damage doing that. They were pretty much just running around on the map, but they took that one camp, and once that the camp hit the gate, they were there with a 4-man, with Sylvanas, and they started to pressure it. And that's of course what you're trying to do. I mean, I talked about it during the draft as we were thinking that the Hardos might maybe lock down the Vikings. If you play the Vikings, you want to have a strong 4-man, and you want to have the push power. And Sylvanas is, of course, a fantastic hero for that. So they're currently using her for exactly that kind of play. And they have still a slight lead, but of course they're also taking damage. And this is going to be a bit of a battle of attrition here. Who's going to be the one to crumble first? And with the hovering siege mode now being empowered from on level 7, that's a really, really big tool here too. So yeah, we'll see. I think the second tribute is also going to be taken by the Mafia. The position is just too good for them. Up here to the top, Hardos is the only one dealing with this. Down at the bottom of the map, we still have 2. But the aggression is there. And X-Ray was trying to go for the connect, but they're getting a lot of damage on Bad Benny. And hello? Yeah, Brightwing has to move in even and deal with all of it. Which also means that Brightwing is abandoning the tribute. Yeah, shots are getting fired. There's a couple of stacks. Nice engage on Bishops. And that's a kill. Nick survives. Well done. And they get the kill on Stukov. So that one was important. First kill in the game for them. And they're following it up with a second one. Yeah, double kill. Easy peasy. Great engages from Bad Benny, our train conductor. And then Nick also, with good follow-ups on it. All of a sudden, we have a leading experience for the blue team. But of course, they are 2 tributes behind. And Hazu has still not been able to take the top fort. He's working on it, but they're not there yet. So, yeah. It's another interesting one. First game was already pretty cool. And now we have another one shaping up very similarly. Another good setup. Vikings down. Nano P with a bit of a suicide wave, but he is not gonna get punished for this just yet. The level 10 abilities are very early in the hands of the Hardos, but the gap is so small that, yeah, they can take the wall down, but that's about it. Harzops is immediately keeping X-Ray at bay here, pushing him at distance. They, of course, need to go for that tribute now, or it's going to be a curse against them. Ult missed, and Imperius is getting killed. First, he misses his ult, and then he's getting killed right away. Did I just hit Balog? Yeah, the ult hit Balog too, and Bad Benny is aiming for the channel. Here comes Hydra for the interrupt, and he's going to lay that a bit with the slingshot. Of course, he's going to get punished for it. But yeah, one of the dangers in the late game when the Vikings are participating more in the team fights is also that Vala stacks out of her mind on the W. So at 37 stacks, 6.5 minutes in, she's already a bit of a menace. But in the late game, this could be even more problematic right there. Now, we got Yazu. The team is going for the boss. By the way, both are going to do that. Top side, we see the same thing. There's not going to be any interrupts. Still the structure lead for the flipping Mafia. And down here, they are getting the boss without any problems, the Hardos. The Mafia already took theirs at the top. And now it's just a matter of who can do more damage. And, well, we got Sylvanas. Yeah, Sylvanas is already there, doing her thing. At the bottom of the map, they're, of course, going to try and empower this push with Brightwing, at least. Can also interrupt any kind of attempt to defend it. Hazu is... I mean, they're moving into the middle right now. They know that that tribute is coming, and that's a bit of a problem for them, since the curse is still a threat. That is another kill against Eric, so at least the interrupt potential has been reduced a bit. And Brightwing is ensuring that the fort at the bottom gets taken down. Those siege giants, on the other hand, have done a bit of work against the boss, but it still is going to take at least the gate down, I suppose, on the keep top side. Bottom of the map, the fort now has been taken apart too, so it's 2 forts to 1. Apocalypse, the double stun, the ult, what a combo! Beautiful combo, very nicely done. Bad Benny with the rest of the team just using that corridor to their advantage, stealing the camp away, taking the tribute, and that was exactly what they needed out of this fight. Look at this one. So they come in, they use the Apocalypse here, and then it's just a great connect. The ult of Hazu's hammer runs down that corridor too. They get the kills, they steal the camp away. Now they have 6 kills to 1, and they have eliminated the fort at the top. So all 3 forts are now down. The mid lane has been destroyed, the top lane has been destroyed. Previously we've seen the bottom fall to the boss. Now we have them with the lead in experience, lead in kills, and they are just flipping this game completely. So a great job by them. 13,000 damage on Sylvana. She's the top damage for the Mafia. But we have 25,000 for Hazops. The master of right clicks. Right here. And off we go. More stacks for Nick. And Nick is still trailing behind in damage a bit. He's at 25,000. I like this move though. The problem is that they are going to get cursed now. If they don't rotate up topside quickly, then yes, they have taken the fort apart, but the curse is going to be there. Hydra, he's going to get hit hard and he goes down. So yeah, this is a curse. They push this out hard, and this is a huge chunk that has to be taken. I mean, someone needs to deal with this. 100%. Someone needs to come down here and deal with it eventually. I guess Brightwing is going to do it, yes. Yasuo is Hearthstoning back, is going to move in to deal with all of that, pick up the experience, and then they can teleport Brightwing into the mid lane. But there's the big engage with the APOC once again, and the ult of Hazu comes in. Deahaka is down. Brightwing has joined the fun. That keep is gonzo. That keep is down, and the topside keep is also in trouble. The Hardos, ladies and gentlemen. The big plays made by the blue team. 8 kills to 1. They're shutting the Vikings down. They're getting the keep, and they're gonna try for 2. I don't think they can go for core here. We're still 10 minutes into the game. The death timers are rather low, but they have level 16, and they want to ensure that they're getting the second keep before they make an attempt to go for the core, which might still happen. Since they have the 2-level lead and both keeps are down, they are gonna try. But even if they fail to finish it, they have such a big advantage on the map now. It's incredible. And the stacks are coming together as expected from Vala now that the Vikings have to participate in some of these battles. She's at 55 stacks at this point and is dishing out more damage every minute with one multi-shot after another. We got the level 16, the seething hatred. Deahaka gets pushed out. Another quick kill here. Nick, is he going to connect another one? Yes, and he stacks it quickly. He follows it up with the strafe. And they are all getting pushed back. The core is also losing its shields now. Bad Benny pushing in again. They won bishops, and they're getting bishops. Bishops down. Vala with a hit after another. Here comes the connect with Bad Benny. Diablo's a bit low, but the Haka is dead though. Dibbles falls, but he had the stacks. The core is down at 97%, so they weren't really able to push it down completely. Brightwing with a save, and 64 stacks by now also for Nick. And we are only 11 minutes into the game. Hazu with more right clicks as we're seeing them go for the core again, and that barrel falls down to 80. Another kill. Sylvanas. Nick is just crushing it now. 58,000 damage for Vala. The core at 43%, and this is the lights out move as the Mafia loses to the Hardos, drops into the third place decider, and the Hardos go to the grand final where they will face off against Team Wah once again.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.